So, hi everyone. We have Miss Mehek Garg today with us. She's the director of the PGP TBM program at Masters Union. So, let us enrich you with her experiences. So, question one to you, ma'am. Who are some of the leaders you admire the most and you look up to?
For me, I think Steve Jobs pretty high up there, and Elon Musk probably because there's someone who can imagine a world that did not exist, and to me, that's very impressive.
I can totally resonate with that, ma'am. So, question number two, what are some of the habits or practices that help you achieve success in your life?
So I honestly feel that success is so much about just not giving up, being extremely persistent, continuing to get up. Because so you'll remember that Steve Jobs has said this in one of the Stanford convocation that the dots are always going to connect backward.
Yeah.
But what if you decide not to move ahead in your life on another dot because you're so you're not able to overcome a challenge? So then the dots can connect backward only when you decide to move in front in life by persisting, by brushing away any sad feelings that you might have.
So, question three, what are the biggest challenges that you see in the global sustainable environment?
So today, I think the consumption itself, the mindlessness of with which we consume in terms of one-time packaging,
Yeah.
the use of plastic. Then, if you talk about fashion, like the fast culture in Zara, the fashion changes every 3 weeks.
Yeah, fast moving fashion.
So the fast moving fashion is something all of us will have to take a step back from and ask ourselves that are we actually going in the right direction?
Yeah.
So I think there's so many challenges and that
We
and
totally
then
need to think about that.
we're seeing the impact of all of it today.
Okay. So, how do you see sustainability shaping the future of business or education?
I feel today sustainability is no more a optional thing.
Yeah.
In the past life, I would think like 10 years down the line that okay, it's a buzzword that okay, we look at it in future. Today, you don't have a future without sustainability. That's the point we've reached in terms of your carbon emissions, in terms of your water pollutants. Everything has become at a stage where if you don't do something about it, we should then, as a generation, be ready for the death of the planet. Simple.
Yeah, truly said that, ma'am. So, who are some of the students you are most proud of from your PGP program at Masters Union?
One, I think I honestly am just proud of every single student because every single student's journey is different. Their own hardships are different. Where they came from is different.
Exactly.
But if I have to take a few names, there's one student, Dharmil, who was recently actually featured on Shark Tank, raised 75 lakhs of funding
That's really
from Aman and Piyush. And he then also had raised almost 10 to 15 crores of funding for his startup. And this is just 2.5 years from the time he joined Masters Union. And there's another student who's just recently gone to Citibank as the AVP of marketing. So she's someone I'm very proud of. Then there's a girl who just went into Cisco from our current cohort,
Okay.
Kajal. So again, I think the names are so many. And there's one of our alumni who's in Google Dublin. So again, so many students who make me proud every single day.
Great success stories, though. So, what are the key qualities you look for when hiring talent for the Masters Union?
To us, there are 6 different things that we're looking for, and I'll summarize some of them. The first is, do you have the ability to persist, to be humble? Do you think that you're a know it all? Because ultimately, when you're at Masters Union, you will constantly get new information, you will get a lot of feedback on how you can improve. If you're someone who's like a stone versus a sponge, that's what we look at. So that is the first big quality that we look for. Then the second is the leadership potential. And leadership potential for someone like you could be that you've taken the courage to volunteer for your fest committee.
Yeah.
For someone else, it could be that how did you show up at work, what did you learn there, etc. The third is the ability to did you make the best use of the opportunities that were in front of you?
Yeah.
You could have gone to the best of IITs, but there you did not make use of the opportunity that was actually there. That's something that we usually frown upon. So those are the types of things that we care about because ultimately skill is something we can teach you. But if your mindset and your ability to learn is not there, that's something we can't teach. And for every single profile, we're constantly looking at how will this student add value to the cohort, right? Because the peer learning angle of a business school is so high that 50% of it you're learning maybe from the professors who come in, but a lot of learning is happening in the class with your peers, through the peers. So today we actually have someone who knows how to fly a Boeing 737 in the cohort. There's someone who's a dragon fruit farmer. There's someone who's a CA. There's someone who's actually patented his own headphone design. There's someone who's joining in with almost 1 million followers on Instagram. So those are the kind of people who come together to then create a very, very diverse classroom.
Okay, so lastly, what's that one piece of advice that you would like to give to our community, that is the students?
So one piece of advice that I got when I was at Stanford, and I think that has helped me a lot, is that I think as humans, we're very good at planning our days and our weeks. We're not very good at planning our decades. So if you look at it, a government, if it doesn't have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, you would just be haphazardly moving around, right? What China does really well, and I know we're not very pro-China, but I think China does really well is the plan in decades that, this is our 10-year plan, and this is our 5-year plan, then move backward from there. In fact, Rishi Sunak is also an alumni of Stanford Graduate School of Business. So I heard from one of his classmates there that when Rishi Sunak entered Stanford as a business school student, that's when he said that my goal is to become a prime minister of UK. And having that clarity and then taking all the steps to reach there is what will differentiate. Or if you look at Serena Williams' case, there's a documentary that has recently come out which is called King Williams, and I loved it. I loved watching it because the father had that plan for both the daughters to have two Wimbledon winners from the same family, Serena Williams and Venus Williams. Having that clarity, having that plan from day one, he had planned for it for the daughters to be as perfect as they turned out to be. It was not a random coincidence that happened. To me, it's about how well can we plan our life.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insights
Of
and for
course.
this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.